What's up, good people? Today is the day after Thursday. Today is just Friday. Listen, what's up, y'all? I want to talk to us for a few minutes this afternoon. This is going to be this is a little bit of hope. I'm going to spread a little bit of hope and happiness. So what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to click like and share with everybody that you can. I don't often ask that you do that a lot, but today I'm going to ask that you do that. I got a special guest that's going to be with me in the building on the night, and this is going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, check this out. Click like and share, and today we're going to talk about the Biden and Harris New Hope, because a lot of people are talking about hope, and we've been talking about hope for a long time. And today, we're going to give you guys a little bit of pain medicine. I think it's going to be wonderful, and I want us to take a look at this new Biden and Harris New Hope that they are offering for all of us that have been in despair. It's the JoJo Hill Show. Stay right here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend and brother, Robert W. JoJo Hill, the servant, the artist, and the author, and I'm in the building. Oh, the daddy. Yes. All right, man, we are here, and today we are going to talk about this wonderful, wonderful new hope that is called the Biden and Harris New Hope. Now, the question that have come down the pike, I've gotten your comments, I've gotten your messages, and I've gotten all those things, communications and whatnot. So, in classic JoJo Hill fashion, I decided to have a conversation. Let's have a quick conversation concerning this. We're talking about this Biden and the Harris New Hope for us. Is it, in fact, a new hope for us? We watched as the proverbial changing of the guards happened this past week, and everybody seems to be pretty excited about it. Everybody's so happy that the orange man is gone. Everybody's celebrating how glorious life is going to be because the orange man is gone. We now have this new hope. Now, this has been the traditional issue that I've had, folks, ladies and gentlemen. We've been sold this idea of hope for many, many, many years. We've been sold the concept of hope for a long time. Now, there's nothing wrong with hope, but hope deferred makes the heart sick. Now, what I need you guys to grab and understand is just because a new face is stuck on this stuff does not mean that it's giving us any level of new hope. Now, these things are not necessarily just my thoughts and my opinions, but we've looked at it historically. Now, a lot of people are not going to be willing to accept this, primarily because when you have to acknowledge things are something that they are not, it causes people to get very uncomfortable. There's a concept that Dr. Joyce DeWitt DeGruy talks about called cognitive dissonance. And in that dissonance, it's when what you've been taught doesn't match with the factual information that you're being presented. So a lot of people have been told that these things represent hope. And even when presented with evidence that hope, in fact, is not what's being generated, they can't process this concept. A lot of people don't like the concept, nor do they like to deal with the idea that these things could possibly be false. We're looking at a system that has completely tricked us. I talked about it yesterday on the show. We have a system that has completely just sold us a bill of goods, and we are so interested as a culture. We're so locked into this idea of believing whatever the media presents to us. And anybody that has any level of intellect will completely determine that if the media is consistently pushing something in one direction, it has to be coming from some place. It has to come from somewhere. These people just don't do whatever the ham and cheese that they want. This is not realistic. So a lot of us have absorbed and embraced a belief system that's in fact flawed. But why don't we like to accept the fact that some things are flawed? We don't like to accept the fact that some things are flawed because it would immediately cause you to reevaluate all the things, or a great portion of the things that you've learned. And nobody likes to think that what they learned was incorrect. It's just not the way we're wired. We're just not wired like that. We need to be right. We have a need to be right. We need these things to be exactly what we thought. So, at the possible expense of people feeling very strange, I decided to pop on and have this discussion because I want us to have clarity. If we don't have clarity, then we're going to ultimately fall. People are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we don't understand how something works. If we don't understand what causes these things to work, then we'll believe whatever and however these things just come along. We'll think that it's exactly what's being presented, but that's not necessarily true. So this is for, in the words of Dr. Boyce Watkins, who I really admire, this conversation is for the intelligent Black people. And I'm going to say Black people because I have to deal with those that look like me first. I can't go out and try to get someone else's seatbelt and mask on their face before I put one on myself. I have to see about my own first, and then we'll talk and look at the others. All right, folks. What we have to grab in this idea and this concept of hope. If someone can sell you on the idea of hope for an extended amount of time, they can keep you in a perpetual state of flux. In other words, you'll always feel that the next one is going to be it. It's like a pimp. Well, if you just do this last trick, just listen, go up there and I want you to just lean over forward and because listen, now he may mash you on your neck and push, but don't worry. This is the last one I need you to do. And I got you after this. You just lean over forward and hold still. And it's going to be over after this. This is a concept that has been used by politicians for years. I saw something today that was very powerful. And someone said that they don't have their daughters to look at Kamala Harris, whatever the crap this lady's name is, as a point of mentorship for their daughters, because politicians are not mentors. Politicians are something else. They function inside of a system of operation. And if you're going to accelerate inside of that system of operation, you have to do whatever the system of operation suggests. If you don't, you can accelerate inside of that system. It's just the way it is. I have people that I know that ran for office in political offices. They didn't understand the game. They thought they can just go out there and put up signs and shake people's hands and hug babies and that was going to do it. No, that was not it. Politicians are ran by economics, people that have economics. If you have no economics, you don't get any dictate. You can't dictate anything in regards to politics. Politics are guided by economics. If you have no economic floor or base, ladies and gentlemen, please understand, you are not influencing any political people. It's just a game. They shake your hands and smile and do all that stuff, and they'll kiss your snotty nose brats on the cheek. And when they get finished, they'll do just like Jamie Foxx did on the latest version of on Annie, and he'll take some doggone hand sanitizer and spray that crap in his mouth to get the taste of your snotty nose brat out of his mouth, because this is how they think. Now, we don't like to acknowledge this. We don't like to accept this. This is not something that we often like to talk about, because it shows you exactly how powerless you really are. So my assignment and my job is to help us to just begin to look at these things from another perspective. Perhaps we haven't learned that we've been sold this concept of hope for many, 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 many years. We've been sold this concept and idea that if you just hold on a little while longer, joy is coming in the morning. Get the crap out of here. It's been morning for a whole lot of these people for a long time, and they don't even have alarm clocks no more. It's morning all the time for them. But for some reason, we tend to think that because these new people come in place, that they're giving us a fresh sense of hope. No, they're giving you a fresh sense of false hope. False hope is a completely different idea. So false hope says, I'll sell you on a concept that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I'll get you emotionally attached to that thing. to the point where all I got to do is show up, and guess how I'm going to step out there? I'm going to step out there and I got this doggone purple suit on, and everybody going to be like, oh yes, look how wonderful and glorious it is. Look how purple it reminds me of Barney when I was little and everything. I love Barney and everything like that, because when I was little, I used to like purple Kool-Aid. I didn't even know what purple juice was, because the idea, this symbolism, I talked about this before. It's meaningless symbolism. What I need us to understand is that these folks are selling false hope. So the false hope says, if you give me all of your attention, you give me all your votes, you give me all of your support, you give me all these things, I can consistently sell you on something. But what am I selling you on? I'm selling you on something that will never in fact come. They know that they have no intention of doing anything for Black people as a culture. They have no intention of changing anything in the favor of Black people. Anything that's being done for Black people primarily is only for an expected end. They expect to take everything they can and give nothing in return. And we've seen it for decades. This is not a new concept. We've seen it for decades and decades and decades. So this false hope, they come out there with the purple suits. Oh, she has a fresh weave on. Oh, her weave looks wonderful. Girl, I know she spent at least $5,000 for that weave. Okay. So you're connecting yourself. Watch, guys. The connection is to something that, again, is fake. But we've been sold as a culture that these things have been normalized. I've talked about this for many, many, many years. You cannot have a culture that embraces everything that's fake and think of it as normalized and think it's not going to have an effect on that culture. You can't do it. If you have a culture that consistently embraces everything that's fake as normal, it's going to adversely affect that culture. So here's how it begins to work. This is what happens. Our people are excited behind the idea of what looks like change. So it looks wonderful. It looks like there's growth. It looks like we finally got the evil man out of office. He's gone. The evil man is gone. And I would like to submit to you a thought and idea. What exactly is different about this one that's different from the others? They all eat from the same plates. They all drink from the same fountains. They all bathe in the same tubs. They all take a dump on the same toilets. Everybody functions inside of the same exact club. You can't be a part of that club if you're not willing to embrace and employ the belief system of that system. So what do we have? As a culture, we get sold an idea, a concept, this random thinking that suggests and says, because it's a new face in the place, that means that something has changed. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing has changed. I need you to chew on that for a moment. Nothing has changed. But why do we think it's changed? We think it's changed because it looks like something different. I remember working in environments, and the folks that were in leadership would often say things like, well, we just give them what they want. And we, it looks like it's going to change. It looks like everything is going to be different, but they don't really want anything to be different. We're just going to do the same thing. We'll just put another flyer on top of it, or we'll put another poster on the board, and everybody will think that, oh, it's this great portion of change. It ain't. I knew a guy, particularly when I was working in the very warped and twisted so-called church world. I remember this pastor dude. He'd been a pastor for many, many, many years. This dude told me, I remember it was almost unbelievable to even conceptualize what these people were saying. They would switch out people. Let's say, for example, they would switch out people that were in positions, let's say in the area of music, because I worked in the area of music. They would switch out music leadership it was like every 3 months or something. It was going on all the time. There's always these shifts. And the idea was to keep people thinking that something fresh was going on. And I would say stuff like, wait a minute, hold on. Nothing fresh is happening here, because you, sir, that's in leadership, that's ultimately pulling all the strings, you haven't changed at all. You're doing exactly what the crap you were doing before. You're exactly the same, but you want people to believe that something has altered. It hasn't altered. So they'll keep switching people out. If you notice, they'll switch the person in the music area. They'll switch that person out. Oh, we need a new person because we need to do something fresh. Isn't that funny? All of a sudden, something fresh. Get the crap out of here, man. It has nothing to do with freshness actually being done. It's the concept, or it's the idea, the imagery of something being freshly being done. But it's not. It's not. If you don't understand this, folks, we're going to be in the year 2050, and it's going to be the exact same. The only thing that's going to be different, we're just going to be older. These people are doing the exact same things over and over, and it's gotten very, very, very discouraging for a lot of people because our folks are not listening. It's like we're not paying attention. We're trying not to listen. And even when presented with information that suggests that things are different, people don't like to accept that. I'm going to be bringing on my good friend, Leonardo Butler, who's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant mind, incredible producer, engineer, mastering engineer, just a brilliant mind. Just we've been friends for a very long time. And I want you guys to hear what some of these things that he's going to be saying and he's going to be sharing, because I don't want us to lose focus. This is what happens with us as a culture. As a culture, regrettably, we don't like to accept truth. What I noticed in a lot of my pieces and trainings and whatnot, I see this a lot. Folks don't like to accept or think truth, because truth is something that's very uncomfortable. If you don't understand that, you're going to be out there. Truth is something that's very uncomfortable because most people don't like to embrace and employ truth. When you're presented with truth, most people reject truth. Try presenting truth to someone that's been living in lie for a very long time. They reject it. They can't conceptualize the truth. They're like, oh, heck no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about that. You're talking all this stuff. I don't want to hear that, because truth is uncomfortable. But why is truth uncomfortable, y'all? Why is truth uncomfortable? It's uncomfortable for us to think that Biden is going to do nothing for us. It's uncomfortable to think that. It's uncomfortable to think that Harris is not going to do anything for us. It's uncomfortable for us to think that. You know why? Because she had on some Chucks and she had on some doggone pearls. So we'd rather lock ourselves in the idea and in the thought of the Chucks and pearls and the fresh weaves and purple suits than the fact that she doesn't have any policies that's going to positively affect Black people. I'm going there today. I'm saying what I'm saying, and I'm not backing the crap down. If y'all don't want to hear that, get the crap off. This is just what it is. Why don't we like to accept the fact if someone is presenting you an additional view and purview that says, wait a minute, man, hold on. You do know that we're not heading to Ohio if we're going 75 south. We can't get to Ohio that way. Well, you must be a Trump supporter. Someone has convinced you that going down the wrong road will get you to the right destination. I need you to understand how sick that is. And they're selling it as New Hope. This is not New Hope. I remember seeing churches that would do church splits. And the first church will be called New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. And then it will be a split. Somebody get mad and say, bump y'all, I'm gonna start my own church. And their church will be called Greater New Hope. And then somebody will get mad at that one. And the next one will be called the Greater New Hope of a Higher Dimension. It's false hope. Hope is one of those things that you can keep people stuck on for decades because it's like you got a carrot on a stick. It's like that commercial. Oh, you got to be quicker than that. You got to be quicker than that. It's like you almost got it. It's the same thing that sharecroppers were faced with after so-called slavery was abolished. There wasn't no freaking freedom. No, man. You gonna work, bust your butt to the point where you almost dead. And then at the end of the year, the slave owner or the so-called previous slave owner would say, man, you were almost there. You almost, you just broke even. And you're like, wait a minute, man, I've been counting these books myself. You told me all I owed you was $1,000. I did $18,000 worth of work. You should owe me $17,000. Oh no, Mr. Nigger. No. You were almost there. You were just about there. We don't like to acknowledge the fact that someone has possibly sold us a bill of goods. I love to hear what you guys got to say. Let me hear the comments, pop them in there. I'm going to bring on my good friend and brother, Dr. Leonardo Butler. Butler's in the building, and I'm going to bring him in now. Dr. Butler, my friend and my brother. What's up, man?
Hold on, man? Let me fix this light again. It changed on me.
All right, Butler done messed up the light.
All right, here we go.
How you doing up there, brother?
Oh, good, man. Good.
All right, Dr. Butler, let me ask you a question, man. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that Biden and Harris is offering new hope for Black people?
No, not really, no. They can't offer what they don't control.
Wow.
They can't offer what that. I mean, they can talk about things, they can sign executive orders, same thing with Trump. You can't offer what you don't control. You just talk about it.
Mm-hmm. So do you think,
like the movie theaters, they talk about the movie, but they don't own the movie.
Sure. Wow.
They just say, hey, we got this new movie coming out. Come see it.
But they don't own it.
The movie, and all you're doing is sitting in the seats, and they're selling you the what? The popcorn.
Wow.
So they made their money off of you with the popcorn. And I don't have a problem with that because I love popcorn, hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and homemade ranch.
Oh, yes.
But, yeah, dog, they can't offer what they don't own. They're only doing what they're told, but we're looking at it as something else. We're looking at it as, oh, yeah, they're going to do this for me and they're going to do that for me. You know where I am with that. I'm like, what? Let's do it ourselves.
Right.
It might not look as good as the way that they could do it,
but
it can still be us. We can still do it ourselves, and then who's controlling it then?
Absolutely.
We are.
That's right.
And it's nothing against them. It's just that we control it.
Yeah. So this idea and this concept, as a business owner yourself, you have very successful businesses that's been around for a very long time, and you have done very well. Glory. Done very, very, very well. So these hopes or these things that's being sold by this new administration and these folks coming in, as a person that's a business person, do you feel like you were negatively affected by the previous administration, or do you think that you were more positively affected by it?
It was really a more positive thing. Even with, Corona and things being low, or business being below standard, or below the standards of what you're used to, lights are still on, I'm not saying that as a thing. Look at me, and nobody cares about anybody else. I'm just saying about me, what I've seen. The last administration didn't do me any harm.
Yeah.
And I'm as black as the driven tar. And
black as the ace of spades, brother.
Yeah, it don't get no blacker than me.
Yeah.
And I'm Cherokee. But listen. Hey man, all I can ever tell anybody that people talk about, oh, this happened and that happened and this administration. No, as far as what I can tell, and I've been doing this thing or been really paying attention to it for the last maybe, I want to say 6 years, really paying attention to politics. Not that I have it all down, not that I totally understand everything, but I can, it's just certain things I just kind of know. You know how if you're playing in the wrong key, it's just certain keys that ain't going to work in the scale.
Right.
It's the same thing. I can just look at it and go, man, we had a little more money before certain administrations. And then when this other administration comes in and everybody hates, wait a minute, we got a whole lot more.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of people immediately think that if you're a person that can acknowledge just factual things, that automatically makes you a supporter of the other piece. But that's not my position. I'm pretty sure that's not your position as well. It doesn't mean that you support either. It just means you can acknowledge facts. Like, we don't like to acknowledge facts as a culture. When we're presented with facts, we decline facts.
Right.
We reject it. So somebody can say, listen, I understand that you want to drive to Florida, but you are going 90 heading west. Sir, you are not going to Florida.
It's going to take you a long while to get there.
You're going to have to circle the earth in order to get to Florida in the direction that you're going. And by the time you get there, you probably won't make it.
Right. You're going to run out of gas somewhere.
Listen, brother, we don't like to acknowledge it. And I think it's very strange because even with some of the folks and some of the comments that we've gotten over the last several days, share with us what happened with you directly. Something happened with the piece we were talking about. I think it was on yesterday's show. And if some of the comments, it caused you to actually go a different direction with some of your social media. Talk to us about that. What happened?
Well, I was watching the Hill show, JoJo Hill show yesterday. And I was in front of, I was going to grab my pizza, my Thursday night pizza, because Junior, we want to try to have some food for him when he gets in. So I sat there and said, well, I'm going to order this pizza and I'm going to sit here and wait. I'm going to sit here and, wait for it. And so I said, well, let me turn on the show. I turned on the show and you were talking, and it was like the first comment you said something about, somebody said something about if you were thinking that way or you're killing hope or something like that. Man, it did take me 2 seconds. At that point, I canceled my Facebook.
Wow.
Canceled it. I
so you actually canceled and deactivated your Facebook page behind that?
Yes. Yep. People can go check right now. I'm nowhere to be found on Facebook. You find me someplace else, but on Facebook, and nothing against Facebook. It's just I cannot take that type of thought pattern, especially when I try not to think of people in a negative way or a low way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm higher of any sort, but when you're enlightened, it's just like you can just kind of see through, like you said, you can admit the things, And so when I saw it, you read that comment, I said, man, I am totally done. I don't want to hear not another word from Facebook about anything. I said, oh no, let's cancel this right now. No, not the log off thing. Cancel, dismantle, deactivate it.
So the mentality. That's we got to stay there for a second, Butler, because that's heavy, man. So the idea of the people's mindsets in proximity to what this so-called hope is giving, or what this hope is supposed to make them think.
Yeah.
It was so adverse in the mind of the person that was commenting, the people that was responding. It literally caused you to just want to step away from it overall.
Yeah. All 2,500 friends, all the followers. Matter of fact, I even had businesses on there.
Yeah.
And my thing was, again, nothing against Facebook, but I hadn't made any money fooling with Facebook because that's the land of make believe for some reason. It's a different kind of person that stays there.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the people. I just have a problem with when they can't. Okay, we talk about church, God, Bible, and all that kind of stuff all the time. And my main thing with that is the hypocrisy.
Correct.
So how can you have the God thing right and have your voting thing wrong?
It doesn't match.
It don't match. How could you on one hand talk about take in the sinner and forgive everybody, but then you hate the president?
It's complete hypocrisy.
It don't make sense. And so I just said, you know what, man, I don't speak that language. And when I don't speak that language, I get away from it.
Yeah.
Just, it's like, it's the proverbial getting out of the ghetto thing. It's like, I no longer fit in that arena, that Facebook arena. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, I never did fit. You know,
Yeah.
you remember when I first started posting about any little thing, whether it be Bible or whatever, I would post and people would fight the stuff. And it was just like simple things like, hey, we need to love one another. Yeah, that's out of context. You can't say that. What do you mean? Love one another, treat people right, love God on it. And so when I realized that, man, it's just like after a while, you know, I go from, you know, one subject to another.
Yeah.
You know, I can talk about religion. I can talk about politics. I can talk about relationships. I even talked about the death of my wife. I did all of that kind of stuff on there, right?
Sure.
But man, it was just like yesterday, it was something that went snap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as you said that, I was like, that's
Yeah,
got
that's
it.
And you know what's so deep about that? And I did a training called "Has Religion Stopped Your Blessing?" And one of the things that I talked about in there, I talked about God not answering things that He's giving you the power to fix.
Yeah.
And if you guys would like to grab that, go to rwjojohill.com, of course, and you can grab that training. And it's a bunch of other things you can grab as well. But this particular one has religion stop your blessing. And I'm just hitting on that because, Butler, like you said, we talk about a lot of different things. I mean, you're probably one of the few people that I talk to almost every day. So you know my position in regards to the so-called church. You know my position in regard to so-called religion and all that stuff, and how I listen, brother. They can do whatever they want. My hands is out of it. I don't have nothing to do with it because I understand how filled with hypocrisy it is. We have, like you said, you have folks who are claiming to love on one side, but can completely function in hate on the other.
Yeah.
Under the cloak and dagger, as it were, of
in Jesus' name.
Dude.
I hate you in the name of the Lord, in the name of Jesus. I'm just like, man, how can you?
Foolishness.
And they say, oh, no, we don't hate him. I said, but you act like it. You really
we don't hate him. We hate his parents for having him.
Yeah.
No, right, man, right. You got a problem. You're off. You're off. That concept is off. And so what I did, I wanted to speak about what's happened with us as a culture in regards and relationship to that, because the biggest portion of people that's been offering all of these levels of deception and these false hopes have all been so-called church people, all been so-called religious people, and that's really not what the show is about. We're not really talking about that per se, but that it stands for repeating, because the people that have been offering the greatest levels of these hates and all this bitterness have been people who so-called named the name of God. We'll get the crap out of here. You have nothing to do with God. That's like somebody saying, oh, I came to JoJo's house and I got 6 bars of crack, drank ate some doggone liquor, had 4 loose prostitutes and whores and some intravenous drug users from Haiti laying on the floor with me. You lying. Get the crap out of here. You're lying. That didn't come from my house.
Intravenous
drug users from Haiti, man. Get the crap out of here. These people, because the idea of what the media has given us, dude, you know this, the media has given us these ideas and this concept of consistently giving us false hope.
Yeah.
So if they can keep you in a state of always hoping, well, next time, if you just do it next time, the same thing happens to all these election cycles. And I'm not into politics like that. I'm really not. I'm not. The thing that baffles me is watching the people that I know, Butler. They don't even they don't research, they don't read, they don't know what the heck these policies are. They don't do it. Let me show you this. Everybody's talking about how great and wonderful Joe Biden is and all this stuff and how wonderful it is. I hadn't even shared this with you. There is let me show. I'm gonna pull this so you can see it. There is a executive order that went out in a whole fury of things that Biden released. Check this out. Joe Biden's gender discrimination order offers hope. Offers what? What does it say, Butler? It offers hope for young trans athletes.
Yeah.
The order delivers an incremental win for athletes seeking to participate as their identified gender in high school and college sports. Now, I want you to think about this.
Mhm.
I want you to think about this. Imagine, Butler, imagine if you were wait, first of all, take a look at this young lady. Look at this young man right here running against you. And everybody's talking about, oh, Biden is our hope. Oh, he's fixed everything. Okay. Now, all of you people that have talked about how glorious and wonderful Biden is going to be as this new hope, and oh, you're killing hope. Okay. Here's his interpretation of hope.
Yeah.
Now, your daughters are going to be in a track meet at school, and a kid that's 6'3", 280 pounds of pure muscle is going to put on a wig and run, dunk, out spike in volleyball, out swing in softball your daughter under the guises of this new hope. See, listen, they don't want to. They don't want to acknowledge this. Look what the article says. The article says Joe Biden's first day in office. When did he do it, Butler? First day. His first day in office delivered an incremental victory for transgender athletes seeking to participate as their identified genders in high school and college sports. Among the fury, the flourishes of executive orders signed on Wednesday, Biden called on all federal agencies to enforce. What does it mean to enforce? That means that it's going to be pushed whether you want it or freaking not. Everybody's talking about, oh, that's my president. She got, oh, look at my first lady. Only thing they could see was chucks and pearls and new weaves and purple suits. Nobody's thinking that it's going to be a consequence. I've talked about this for years. If you don't understand that these things have consequences, Joe Biden is no different from Trump. He has to follow, like you said earlier, the instruction and the things that he's been given to follow as a part of his agenda. He doesn't control nothing. He's just going in doing the crap he said, what he was told. You think he had? Do you think he had enough time on Wednesday to read through 17 executive orders and just start signing them? No, he was told, sign these freaking orders. So now your daughters are now going to have to compete with these. Look at this dude. He looks like he just came from running a 400. And he's gonna beat the crap out of these poor little. Look at these white girls trying to compete with this big old dude. You can't compete with this big greasy black dude. You can't compete with that guy. But no, everybody said, "Oh, it's the new hope." Listen, brother, do whatever the crap you want to. If you think that this is the new hope, by all means, follow. You're gonna get what you get.
You get what you vote for.
You got what the crap you voted for.
Yeah.
And they think that this stuff is going to benefit black people. How is it going to benefit black people? It's not. It's destroying black people.
Yep.
This is unbelievable, man. This is unbelievable. But guess what we got, Butler? We got them weaves, though. She had a wonderful, look how flowing. I heard people, ooh, look at the length, girl. The length.
Hey, man. Whatever floats your boat, that don't help me. But
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing what they put in front of us. It's like that movie, I think it's called Up or whatever it is, where the dog sees a squirrel or somebody just says squirrel and all the dogs stop and look.
Yep.
And then they go back to the
yep.
It's like, wait,
squirrel. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
This is really fascinating, man. I'll be curious to know. I'll be curious to know what are your thoughts, Butler, in regards to the direction that you feel that this whole thing is going, because it's going somewhere. This stuff is going somewhere with this new so-called hope, this Biden and Harris new hope scenario. Where do you see this thing going in the next few years?
I don't see too much happening this year. I see a lot of, like you said, signages and everything and executive orders. Maybe next year, 2022, I don't know how that Republican thing gonna work, you know, because they're all the same. It's not real. There's really no.
There's no variation.
There's no real Republican versus Democrat. They're all the same team. There's one's defense, one's what? Offense.
Yeah.
And so depends on what the plan is. You know, like I was telling you the other day, that the gentleman said, it doesn't matter who the president is.
Yeah, tell us about that. What you speak? What happened?
I think it was the former president of Iran. He jumped up and they were asking him about, what do you think is going to happen with, you know, Biden administration, this, that, and versus Trump. And he said, it doesn't matter who the president is. It's a group of, the board is who guides the United States. You know, the board tells them what to do.
He said the board does it.
And that I mean, I saw, what was it today? They said it'd be different if your vote could actually choose the candidate.
Wow.
They select who they want you to elect from. So these are our two guys. These are two guys.
Wow.
And we want you to choose from one or two of
one
them.
or the other. Right.
Yeah. And but it's still our guys.
It's still, both of them are still our guys.
Fit to put them there for you to choose between the two of them.
Right.
And so I mean, it's like, hey man, it is what it is. All I do, man, is try to treat people right, man, and just do what I do. Love God and like I said, treat people right, man. If listen, if I could change things, I would change it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not today, tomorrow, because that would give me time to plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no need in planning because it is what it is. Now, like I said, regardless of what they do, you know, God knows how to work within their system and do whatever we're trusting him to help us with, or show us the way or path or whatever, to, you know, to not necessarily fight back, but to look out for what's best for you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or for a group of people, or helping people or whatever. But man, it's, I don't know. This year is going to be pretty much the same thing, but we'll see a big change, or at least a start of a change of, you know, next year, because now the quote unquote defense side will talk about, yeah, we want to stand up against the Democrats. We want to do this, that, and other. We want to get the House, we want the Congress, this, that, and other. None of that has nothing to do with anything. Congress don't have nothing to do with. They playing a part. The Senate plays a part. The president plays a part. We as taxpayers play a part. The people trying to come in over the border, they play a part. Geez, man, it's all a production.
Yeah,
it's what it is. And if you look at it like that, you won't take it so seriously, and don't jump out a window or nothing like that. But we're all playing a part, and it's all about how you look at it. If you look at it as, you know, as despair and, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And the one thing about it is this: no matter how big the production is, can't nobody control you.
If what? They can't control you if what? It has to be.
You don't let them. As long as you can see, they can't control you. But if you can't see, you just got people leading you across the street, got seeing eye dogs that are blind and everything else. And man, you trying to get across the street, but you hear these cars coming, but you don't know it until it's too late. You know, you just don't know. I'll give it 2 years until you see something major happens, you know.
See,
I don't know. They said it was going to be a war with Trump, and I didn't see any.
And you didn't hear anything about a war at all.
Yeah, they said the stock market was going to crash with Trump, and I didn't see that either. You know, so I'm wondering what else are they telling us that we didn't see?
Yeah, 100%. And see, that's one of the things that I want us to notice. We have to notice that misdirection is a thing.
Yeah,
I talked about that before. Misdirection is an actual thing. Like we hear these things that are constantly being fed to us and saying, okay, this is this. If we don't do this right now, we're all gonna die. If we don't do it right now, it's like, wait a minute, hold on, man. No, that's not true.
Yeah.
The facts say, for example, with the whole the pandemic scenario, The facts say
Mhm.
the survival rate is 99.3%, 99.4%.
Mhm.
What? That's a higher survival rate than flying on an airplane.
Mhm.
But we don't hear that. We've been told all these things. Oh, everything is upside down. I was talking to one of my buddies, I think it was yesterday, and he said that the hospitals were laying off people because things were so bad. And then in the same breath, the statement was the hospitals are filled to capacity and we can't get any more beds. I'm like, wait a minute. So why are you laying off people if the hospitals are full?
Yeah.
The hospitals are not full. I went
Right.
and drove around. I went to several hospitals. Like I shared with you a couple months ago. I just went around in the height of it and I said, let me just see. Just stopped by all these hospitals. They were empty. They were empty hospitals. I was like, where are the people at?
No, here you go.
One of what I was gonna say, wait, one of our buddies said this. He said, somehow Donald Trump has cured every disease known to man.
Right. That's
He's
what I'm
cured
gonna go
cancer,
to.
he's cured AIDS, he's cured diabetes, he's cured high
Yeah.
blood pressure, he's cured every form of disease.
Yeah.
Just with because COVID is killing everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody ain't dying from nothing.
Yep.
That was deep. I said, whoa, man. And that's what we're being sold, man. That's the idea. That's really deep. So Biden Harris is really not a point of hope for us. That's it's this very deceptional. They represent calming people down and getting people to go back to sleep. I'm telling you, black people have put blankets over their shoulders, Butler, and they put their thumbs in their mouths and they are folded up in a corner with some cookie crumbs and some empty milk cups next to them. They done went to bed, man. Just
put the nightcap on.
Yeah, with that little ball on the end of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Foolishness. So the idea should be we should be looking beyond what's being told and sold to us because people believe
they can't. They can't. They can't look further.
Why would you say that? What makes you say that?
Can't, just like a blind person. They want to see, but they can't make themselves see.
Wow.
They can make themselves see. If God don't help you see, you will never see. You can go to college, you can sit there in the mass, you can walk across, you can be born on the campus.
Because there's a whole lot of people being born on campuses around here. Because they've been getting pushed forward the whole time they was freshmen and sophomores. Hold it. Hold still. Is that the RN coming? Hold it.
Man, they will never be able to see it. Now look, me as a preacher, I tell you that's freeing to me. Because that means no matter how much I break it down, no matter how much Greek and Hebrew I speak to people and break it down and look it up and Google it and all of that, if God don't want you to see it, you are not going to see it. And the only reason you don't see it is because you live in a land of delusion.
That's right.
You celebrate in unrighteousness. And so when the real truth rolls around, you're not trying to hear that. You can't hear it. You haven't been hearing it.
You despise truth.
You hate it. So why would God sit there and waste his eternity to show it to you and you don't want it?
Man, I told and again, you know my position as it relates to the so-called church. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I ain't got no dog in that race, no pony in that show, brother. I done seen.
You don't have a pulpit in that.
I done seen it go, huh?
You don't have a pulpit in that church.
Oh no, sir. Nah, man. I have no pony in that show whatsoever. I was talking with a pastor dude. This was some years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I said, well, this is the deal. I said, people that lack structure and lack truth in their life, mm-hmm. I said, they hate structure mm-hmm. and they hate truth. Watch this. And they hate the persons that bring it.
Yes.
So if you present it, if you even walk in with a presentation of truth or with a presentation of anything that's structured, they hate you for that.
Mm-hmm.
because
And
it
who's it?
immediately, Hmm?
Go ahead.
it
Go ahead.
immediately causes them to have to look at themselves in a different perspective, but they don't like to. They don't want to do that because truth exposes you for what you're not. That's one of the beautiful things about truth. It exposes not only you, but anything around it. Truth exposes you for what you are or what you are not.
Yeah.
I had a banker tell me some years ago. This lady, the teller at the bank, and I asked her one time. I said, "How do you guys train on all the counterfeits?" She said, "Oh, we don't get training on the counterfeits." I said, "So how do you guys handle counterfeits?" She said, "Our training is only on the original bills." She said, "We only get training on the actual real bills." And we have to know the real bills so accurately that we can detect the fake ones when we see them. Don't do that. Listen, am I on, brother musician? Look, am I on? Hold it. Listen. Slap 3 people around you and tell them.
Yeah, man. It's like when you're used to the truth, man, it's just like second nature to you.
Yeah, and you accept it. It's easy for you to accept it.
Decipher, yeah.
And
go ahead.
And we live in a culture now where everything is always the lifting is always put, and the elevation is always placed on the fake. It's always placed on the fake. The faker you are, the more likes you get.
Yes.
The faker.
Why?
Because most of the people only accept fake as they think that it's normal. They think fake is normal. They love it.
Always around fake.
Because you're always around the fake.
Yep.
Indeed.
And so when you try to come around and you're like, hey man, this is me. Oh, we don't want real. No. We don't want real. We want fake. Do you have a fake version of you? We'll take that.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Remember we were talking about this. Hey man, if you want more likes, start lying to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Start lying to them. Watch all those likes, watch all those shares, just quadruple. Just start lying to people.
This is freaking amazing. I had someone say, if you want, for example, if you want your church scenario to grow, you need a good scandal in order for your church to grow. You need to you need to get you a concubine and some loose whores. And this is because this is going to bring you another set of influx of people, because people don't like truth. This is freaking amazing. Think about this, Butler. And I do a lot of training and teaching as it relates to relationships and dating and marriages and things of that sort. One of the things that I noticed, bro, the bigger emphasis are always put on how much fakeness can you execute? How much fakeness can you have on you? Do you have fake eyelashes? Do you have fake hair? Do you have fake breasts? Do you have fake hips? Do you have fake butt? Do you have fake lips, fake skin? Everything is always the reception is always based upon fake. I'm watching people on social media platforms, Butler, that are getting so much engagement. You're talking tens of thousands of people that's following. Everything about it is fake. This is freaking amazing. So it makes perfect sense when you start talking about the tie-in in regards to how we think that these fake hopes or these fake this is our opportunity for us to be better, and this is you're killing the hope.
Yeah.
No. That's fake hope.
Yeah.
What you're presenting is fake. You'd rather accept lie instead of truth. So when anyone presents truth, you hate truth.
Because you're always around the lie.
This is amazing, man. This is amazing. I'm just thankful. Listen, I'm just thankful that we've somehow landed in the position where where the universal God gives us clarity, and he bases us in truth. And when I say the universal God, I mean, I'm not talking about what the church has dictated to us that God is. I'm talking about the real dude, the actual being of God who exposes us to truth. And truth always, it's a statement I heard that said, the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may derail it, but at the end, it still remains. You can squish it down, you can run it over with a truck, you can do whatever the crap you want, but truth always rises. It always rises back to the top.
Yeah.
Our culture says, bump truth. Right. We don't want truth. We'd rather believe that a purple suit, fresh weaves, and chucks and pearls represents hope for us. Nothing of any substantial means. This is freaking incredible.
Yeah, I don't even wear pearls and chucks.
Man, can I please say this to you? I saw a dude. Listen, brother. I saw a guy, and I will not say his name because I just won't do it to him. This guy is known. This dude is sitting on a doggone social media, Butler.
Yeah.
With a set of pearls on his freaking neck and some Chuck Taylor tennis shoes on, talking about representing our vice president. Are you out of your freaking mind?
That is what he's around.
This is insane, brother.
That's what he's around. He sits around that there'd be no way he could put that on with good consciousness. I mean, there's no way he could put that on if he wasn't always around that.
Correct. So that means, again, it goes back to my original statement.
Yep.
That fake is always around him. So they've embraced everything that's fake as normal.
Yep.
So if a politician comes into this piece, Butler, and presents you with fake hope, you cool with fake hope because you always around fake. I'm cool.
You recognize it.
Oh, it's familiar to me. Oh yeah, bring the fake on. I want the fake. Bring the fake on by all means. They can bring you fake promises. It's all good, and it slides over into the same thing I talk about in relationships all the time. You get a girl who hooks up with a guy, and she wants to present him with everything that's fake. And I made this presentation some time ago. I said, if that's the case, it should be okay for the dude to put a cucumber in a sock and tape it to his thigh. And when y'all dancing, he keeps showing you that like, oh yes, oh yes. And you like, ooh, girl, ooh. And he get home, and I want him to take that cucumber out of that sock and lay it on the counter and say, well, the only reason I put it in there because I'm giving my Johnson a rest because it was tired. It's been, because it's been, I had to give it a break because
since this is a G-rated program, I'm gonna keep it.
Man, oh yes, I'm gonna let my Johnson get a break because why you wear all that stuff on your hair, black lady? Because I'm giving my hair a break because I needed a break because it's the lights damaged my hair. I had some entertainers say to me, Butler, I've been around the best of all of them. I said, why would you keep doing that to yourself? Well, the lights on the stage is too hot and it damages your hair when you're on stage with these lights. Listen to me, but listen, bro. So I said, this was my words. I said, now wait a minute. This is off because I have a bald head. How come the lights ain't cooking my head? What you're saying is not making sense. If what you're saying is valid, right?
Yeah.
If what you're saying is in fact valid,
right,
it should apply across the board. But we don't think that this crap applies across the board. We don't think, because most poor people, I talked about this, Butler, most poor people don't think in decades. They can't think beyond today.
Yeah.
They don't think beyond, they can't think past Monday. And you have the powers that be. These people are completely thinking we are going to systematically adjust this stuff.
Here you go, Joe. Here you go. Now,
oh,
I
God.
got to phrase it. I got to figure out how to phrase it. Okay. You understand why they give false hope, right? Because the people that they're trying to control, they need that type of person to believe what they're giving them.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they put people who can think
That's it
in charge of? They need people who don't think.
right.
They need people who are of low information to do what they're doing.
Right.
Who else are they going to stand on? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then, even though you understand the thing of people come over the border and everything, coming here for a chance to do whatever, all that does is murky up. Okay, now if you just look at it as, let's just say black people on the bottom, you know, and let's just say white people at the top, right? So if the people come across the border, where are they going? To the top? No, they're going to the bottom. And so they're just going to build up that bottom, build up that bottom, build up that bottom, so that they can stand taller.
Right.
They can stand higher.
That's right.
You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. And this is why I believe that even in regards to one of those executive orders that the dude has already signed, talking about bringing all of these 11 to 17 million immigrants that they're making legal citizens.
Low information.
Listen, brother, the concept of this is so bananas. The concept of this is so insane for black people to not notice, because again, in the equation of all of this stuff, Butler, we are the ones that's at the bottom of this equation.
Yeah.
As black people, we are. Now, I talk about black people on this show because I ain't never been white, at least not to my knowledge. I like to identify as a Jewish white man sometimes so I can get.
You're black?
I didn't know that. I'm going to have to let you go.
Oh, yeah, Doc.
And so watch this. I talked about this on the show yesterday. What's happening is these people, when they come in, they're going right to the bottom. They're bumping people out of a space. It's like playing duck, duck, goose.
Mm-hmm.
You had to get in the chair before everybody else. And the concept of the game was you have 10 people trying to get in 9 chairs, and you keep doing that until it's only 1 chair left.
Yeah.
And what's happening with black people as a group, Butler, what's happening with us, we're being pushed. We're at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. And at this point, we're ultimately being replaced.
Yeah.
But we're so blind because of the fake, because we're so married to that fake and that false hope idea. We think, oh, because Obama had a nice jacket on and Michelle had a nice suit on, and girl, her stomach was what is the thing I said? Her stomach was snatched. She was snatched. So this is your idea of hope.
Snatched.
She has a snatched stomach with a fresh weave on, and Barack got a nice jacket and coat on. So that's your idea of hope. But these people have done nothing but just completely we are at the bottom of the bottom. And Dr. Claude Anderson talked about this back in the 80s. He said, if we don't get a hold to this thing, we are going to be complete. We are done as a culture. But we keep accepting it. We keep accepting the fake. No matter how fake it is, we accept it. No matter how off it is, if it's fake media, if it's fake news, if it's fake stories, if it's fake pushing of the covers of these magazines, all kind of crap. We keep accepting it as normalized. This is when we're gonna have a serious problem, because we, my dear friend, are we out, man. They're pushing us the crap out. Where the crap do you think that all these illegal people are gonna come, and what space are they gonna occupy? They're gonna push all of us out of the equation, and eventually, this is what's gonna happen. Watch, because I believe this is the play. Butler, I believe the play is to replace black people in terms of population. So then it's going to be no need to cater to the blacks no more. Because if you get rid of them in terms of numbers, right? If you replace their numbers, we have the highest rate of abortions. We have the highest rate of black women not being married. Watch this. Only 1 out of every 4 or 5 women even get married that are black women. So then you have no fathers in the doggone homes. What's happening is you got folks that are having children out of wedlock, but the idea and the things that's being pushed is, oh, we got to eliminate these. We got to eliminate the men, get rid of the concept of the men. What's happening to our birth rates? It's dropping. That's why we can have stuff like a doggone New Hope or offers hope for trans athletes. That's why we get crap like this, because the idea is to replace us. I read the stuff, Butler. Where they think most black people sleep, I'm up reading. We weren't supposed to get away. Us getting away from slavery was not a part of the plan. We weren't supposed to get out. So they never intended, nor did they ever plan for us to be free at that level. People say, well, I mean, it's a lot of millionaires that are black. Listen, I understand that, but we have to think about it as a group. As a group, we're hit. So this fake idea, this stuff is amazing. So when I hear people say, well, you're destroying hope. Okay, no, brother, no, sister, I'm not destroying hope. I'm re-engaging hope.
Not to the blind folk.
Wow.
They're thinking anything above darkness is hope.
Wow.
And what did God say? God says, don't walk by, sight, walk by faith, right? If that's the case, they'll never do it because they only use sight.
Amazing.
But the sight that they have is no good.
Wow.
They can't even buy new sight. You can't buy. Okay, there you go. You can't even buy sight.
Wow.
If God don't give you sight, you don't have no sight. You can't even go someplace and buy sight. If that was the case, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and a bunch of others would have done it by now.
And they wouldn't have one hit.
Yeah.
It would be one hit. It wouldn't be one hit. No.
They would be hit. Yeah.
My goodness, man. And I want to see what some of the folks were saying on here, and I guess they just kind of just sitting in. We were able to see some of the comments and stuff to come up. Miss Beverly Pierce, good to see you, baby girl. Elijah Gilmore is here. Dwayne Jackson, what's up, Jack? My little brother Elijah Gilmore is here, making comments and whatnot. But man, I think conversations like this are needed. I think that if we're going to implement some type of change, if we're going to see change, if we're going to experience it, we have to, like you said earlier, we have to be that essence of that so-called hope. We have to be that. We have to make the effort to become the hope, but it can't be based on anything fake or phony. The hope has to be based on, it has to be based on truth. If it's based in truth, then the opportunity of real hope shows up.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to speak truth to people that accept lie, that only want lie.
That's not the language.
They don't understand.
They don't have language. They don't have language. You go speak Spanish to somebody who don't speak Spanish and find out how they look at you. They'll start talking louder and everything.
You look rested.
Hey man, I've come to grips with it. I don't fight with it. I just let people do what they're gonna do. And the people who can see, I try to put myself around people like that. A lot of times the people who can see are far and in between. Far and in between. You the people who can see, man. Just
wow.
If the Lord lets you see them, put yourself around them.
Listen, I want you guys to go to rwjojohill.com and let's grab this another piece that we're offering today as well. Why do visionaries connect with the wrong people? Glory to God. Listen to me. There is a reason.
Yeah.
See, it's very difficult for people that have vision to communicate with those that have no ability to see. They it's very complicated. I found myself being in situations like that where I've been very frustrated trying to share with people who are completely incapable of understanding. They can't. One of the things one of my mentors told me, as we close down Butler, one of my mentors told me when I was maybe 19. He said one of the biggest issues that I see with you is that you have a big heart and you'll try to share with people who are incapable of seeing what you see. He said when you're a person that has the type of vision that you have and the type of insight that you have and foresight, you'll attempt to share it with people because to you it's so vivid, like you can see it so clearly. But most don't share from that same perspective. He said I see you being frustrated when you're trying to share that level of insight and vision with people who are incapable of seeing.
Yeah. Amen. It's frustrating. But amen. You can do it if you want to. I stopped. I quit. I quit.
You shut down your whole Facebook page.
Dude, yeah, look me up on Facebook.
Try to look you up on Facebook.
Yeah, try to look me up on Facebook. I'm done with it. If my mother-in-law was asking me today, she said, "Hey, you gonna get on something else?" I said, "Well, if I see something else that's worth getting on, they don't even have to think like me. They just have to be able to think." You get what I'm saying? Because if they challenge me and they can think, that just makes my knife sharper.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, hey man, if I find something else, great. If not, no big deal. I'm done with Facebook.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that happened as the result, literally the result of a statement that someone made on the show. And it literally caused you to hit such a wall of frustration that you shut your whole Facebook page down.
Dude, you can't just go and just hit a button and shut down Facebook. You have to go through 2 or 3 different menus and search for it and look it up on Google how to do it and then delete it and deactivate it. Dude, I was so happy when I got, because I said, I don't want to do it on my phone. I'm just going to wait till I get home, open up my laptop and just boom. I got there and I hit that delete, deactivate, goodbye. Man, I can't tell you how many times I looked at Facebook today.
Wow.
Yes, I can. None. I haven't looked at any.
And it probably made your day a whole lot brighter.
Oh, man, I had so much time, man, to think about other stuff, man.
And you know what's so deep about this, Butler? This is really, really deep. And I'm going to do a show about this. I think next week it's on the thing for next week. It's a new piece called Clubhouse, and everybody's been popping on this Clubhouse thing, right? Which I popped on it. I was one of the early adapters with it. I got an invite way, way, way early. And I popped on and I started noticing, I'm saying, okay, this is again another means of this time absorbing and drinking platforms. We used to be a people that thought we had independent thought. We would read and study and things like that, and we developed independent thought. Today, our thoughts are consistently it's like they're being ran through a filter. It's like everything's going through this master bus, and this master bus has a filter on there.
Yeah.
Everything that's being pushed through is all hitting that filter, and then at the end of what we're hearing, we're not hearing the raw tracks. Right. We're hearing filters. We're hearing stuff that's on there that may have been a mistake, something you was just playing around with. It's all shifted. And as a consequence of this, we've seen the people that look like us that used to be very intellectual. We were thinking people. If you go back to the 60s and the 50s, when you looked at how Black people were, even in the highest level of Jim Crow segregation and all of that, we were very, very sharp thinking people. We had businesses, we had our own stuff. We were very, very, very sharp people. Today, this social media platform and how it's laid out, it's like it's changed how we process information. It's not even us that's thinking anymore. That's why when I hear people talking, I'm like, I hear you speaking, but who's talking for you?
Yeah.
I hear you saying words.
Yeah.
These are not your thoughts. I hear I hear you speaking, but these are not your thoughts, because I can assure you that most people have not thought. They have not put any effort into thinking or saying, wait a minute, hold on, man, this something about this thing is not correct. It has to be off. Something about this equation has to be broken. If we don't understand and recognize that we have to get to a point where we are thinkers. I don't care. I heard David Banner say this once. He said, I don't care what you think about me, and I don't care what you think about what I say. The only thing I want you to do is think. Just think. You don't have to agree with me. Just think. And if what I'm saying holds or bears any levels of truth, it should be able to survive your critical thinking.
Yeah.
If what I'm saying has any level of truth, right? I've shared this with you before, because a lot of people don't know a lot of things that are my personal belief systems may not be Butler's personal belief systems, but we don't necessarily clash, because we are both people that think. So the idea is going to, well, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. Or, yeah, I see that. I don't necessarily have to agree with that. That may not be my cup of tea. Butler, whatever you just did, you just messed up. I'm gonna pull Butler out for a second till he get back right. A lot of people don't understand that you have to at least think. The concept of thought has to be something that happens. If you don't function in the area of processing thought and information, anybody can guide you if you don't think for yourself. I was taught to think for myself. My thoughts are not dictated by the media. My thoughts are not dictated by the masses. My thoughts are dictated by my own intellect. I asked for divine wisdom and I asked for divine knowledge years ago. I said, okay, God, you got to show me what the crap this stuff does. How does it work? Show me how it functions. And because of that, I operate in a perspective of thought that's not guided by the masses. That's why most time when I say things, most people are like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Everyone's not saying that. I'm like, I don't give a crap if everyone is saying it. That's not my particular thought or belief system. That's not mine. That is an anti-me. That's not me. So I'm going to function always in my own level and area of my truth in terms of how I process my information. And I'm going to look at this stuff from a factual perspective, and it's not going to be guided by what the media says. And just because the media throws up in front of me purple suits, fresh weaves, chucks, and pearls does not mean that this is the dictatable portion and thought process of hope for me. That's not my hope. My hope is set into a very specific way of thought and thinking that says, if it doesn't match, then I don't have to tie into that. I think Butler's back. All right, Butler, you back?
I can't.
Dr. Butler, can you hear? Butler, I see you, but I don't hear you.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, I can hear you fine. I can hear it and see you fine. All right. Well, Dr. Butler, we're going to bid you a fair adieu because we don't know what in the ham and cheese is going on with you. We have to try to get you back at another time to close down the show. But thank you so much for being on with us. I don't know what the crap happened to yours. Okay. All right, guys, listen. I want you guys to go over to the site, go over to the website, and I want you guys to grab this incredible training. We did some great pieces that we're talking about today. Why do visionaries connect with the wrong people? That's going to be one that's very, very, very powerful for you. Also, in fact, let me go here and let you guys take a look at that. Share the screen for us, please, if you can. Yes, the screen with the website. That would be great. Pop us that one, and we can take a look at that one. Okay. Why do visionaries connect with the wrong people? That's a very powerful training and teaching that we did. You guys can pop that in your cart, grab that as well. Let's go back to the other page so we can see the other stuff over there on the actual page. All right. Also, let's see here. Which one is it? That's the one. Let's get you guys where you need to be so you can see what you got to see. All right, here we go. Recognizing the diamond, of course, is a very powerful training that you guys can get 15% off of that one as well. Has religion stopped your blessings? That's the other one that we spoke about today. Very, very, very powerful piece, because a lot of folks have been locked in. And what I learned is that the church and the religious dynamic has been at the forefront of what's built these false hopes into the minds of our folks. It's at the forefront of it. We're looking at it. We're watching this crap happen. So we want to make sure that we get some understanding, we get some training, get some teaching that's going to point us in the right direction in regards to that. So take a look at that training as well. And as you want, go ahead and take a look at it, pop through and see some of these wonderful trainings. And for some of the creative folks that have asked about this one, how to monetize your creativity. That's a very, very, very powerful training. Just 12 critical keys to not giving away what you can sell. We do not give away what we can sell. You can pop that in your card as well. You put in the promo code of NY2021, and you'll get 15% off that purchase. Anything over $100, you'll get 15% off of that. All right, so take a look at that if you will. And for those that want to support, a lot of folks say they want to support the show, and they may not want to do any of the trainings right now. Please support us over at, what are we on? We're on Cash App. That's $RWJojoHill.com. RWJojoHill.com, and then PayPal is servantrwh@gmail.com. That's for your PayPal side. So we'll leave that banner down there so they can see that and participate in that as well. I think I see Dr. Butler. I think he's popped back on. Butler, can you hear me talking now? If you can, hold up your hand so we can see you. I see you smiling, so that means it is correct. You are there. Dr. Butler is here. All right. Dr. Butler, all right, listen, you tried to hold it, but you couldn't. You couldn't hold it, man.
Oh, my.
You couldn't hold it. Now, listen, I want you guys to, well, I would say go and support Dr. Butler on his Facebook page, but he's not over there.
Don't even try it.
My goodness.
Even try it.
All right, Dr. Butler, listen, I'm going to let you go ahead and have some closing words, man, before we jump off. Share with the people anything that you want to share with them. You got the floor, brother. Go ahead.
Hey, glad to be here. Glad that you invited me. I don't know what I added to the whole thing, but hey, you invited me, so it's your fault. Yeah. And so, hey, man, you guys have a great day. Listen, don't let anybody ever stare you into the corner and make you feel bad about being you. Always be yourself, regardless of who likes it and who don't like it. Always be you. They'll respect you more for it. I will, at least. I know I will. So just be you, love yourself, so you can learn how to love others. All right.
Good stuff. Butler, give them your the piece for your radio show that you do. Can
Absolutely
you give them that?
not. Listen, we want to welcome everybody back to Be Holy. We're glad that you're here with us. Head on over to podbean.com and download the broadcast. Share and share and share like until you can't share it anymore. Share until they put you off the internet.
Now, where is it? Where is it again? What's the
Podbean.com.
Podbean.com. Make sure you guys.
The name is Be Holy.
No
one has ever listen. God ain't never told you to be black. God ain't never told you to be white. He told you to do what? Be holy. If you do that, you'll be just fine. Glory. Amen.
And for a lot of you guys that don't know, me and Butler have worked together for a long, long time. He's one of my closest friends in the world, and we've done a lot of really great records and projects together. And we've kind of came through this cutting of our teeth together, from being young men to sliding into being even younger men today.
Yes,
yeah, man. So it's been absolutely fantastic, man.
Oh yes.
Make sure you guys support my friend and my brother, and we'll do that. Now, I have one more piece that we want to talk about, because some of you folks have asked about the monetizing the creativity training. I'm gonna show you guys that. You guys can get that on the website as well, rwjojohill.com, and you'll see that. It's let's see here. Let's pull that up real quick for the folks so they can see it. After we let you guys see this, we're going to let you guys go. All right, we have how to monetize your creativity. A lot of folks have been asking about this training. Listen to me. This training is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to say this again. If you guys are if you're not interested in really doing some serious adjustments in your life and going to that next place and being able to put yourself in a position where you're better outside of this so-called pandemic time and all these strange times of this, that, and the other. You need this training because you have to be able to dictate and control your own destiny and your own future. And the way you do that, you have to be able to monetize your creativity. I took a very specific path for myself. And I said I was not going to allow anybody to determine how I moved and navigate through my experience. So I looked at what I had personally, looked at what I had within myself. I looked at my own stuff, my own abilities, skill set, giftings, all that stuff. And I said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these things and I'm going to put them in formats and formulas and platforms where I can monetize my creativity. I don't give away what I can sell. No, we don't do that. We don't give away what we can sell. And if you're good at something, like the Joker said on Batman, if you're good at something, you don't do it for free. So I'm expecting you guys to do that. So this is how this goes. This is how this works. And if you want to use this and monetize your creativity, this training will be absolutely fantastic for you. So I want you guys to participate in that. If you have it, you see it, and we'll be more than happy to celebrate with you as you get it. Dr. Butler, thank you so much, my friend, for popping on with us. And we are out of here. That's all you got?
Yeah, well, since you muted my mic, I feel offended right now. I don't even know if I want to see any more truth.
Hey, man, this is how
there's plenty of untruth out there for you, Nard. Just go for it.
Isn't that fantastic?
Oh, yeah, man.
All right, my brother. Good to see you, man. Thank you guys for stopping in. This is JoJo Hill Show. Glad to see you guys. And guess what, man? I'm out this mother.